Hi, welcome to the Improvtoons. This episode is going to be on the Monoscene. The Monoscene. Okay, the Monoscene. The interesting thing about the Monoscene is it's not only a format, it's also a term you hear regularly in long-form improv. So the Monoscene means you have the characters in the same location and they never leave. That's basically it, okay? So if you have these, say there's the rainbow players, and they've all decided they're going to be at a campfire outside, roasting marshmallows by the fire. That means none of these characters leave. They're all going to be the same. They don't have to be the same, but they'll be camp counselors or whatever talking about the day. But that means for your team, for 22 minutes, all the characters are going to be in the scene at the same time. Every piece of information happens, all the characters, or at least all the players, are aware of the information that's happening. No one exits, no one edits. The characters and the location stay the same no matter what. I have seen teams where people exit and come back and all that kind of stuff, but predominantly it's used as just like, we're going to stick this one scene out and see where it goes. It's a little mind-bending if you've never done it before, but it's a really fun way to explore characters and get deep into characters and discuss relationships and dynamics and play with status and wants. And you really have to decide. So if red initiates, red has to decide about their dynamic with purple, green, gray, orange, blue, and pink. There's a lot of dynamics going on around. There's a lot of status going on. They have to have a reflection on all those. And as we learn in improv, apathy or just not caring too much is not a choice. You have to have strong feelings about all these characters, because you never know if your relationship's going to be the pivotal moment at the very end of the whole set or whatnot. So what really helps with a monoscene is character work is so important. Having very realistic characters, because if you're too wonky at the beginning, you have no place to take off from. You have no place to get wonkier, and you're not very relatable for 22 minutes. So you have to be relatable. Even if you get wonky and crazy at some point, which we hope you do, you have to be relatable to the audience, because anything at one tone for 22 minutes is going to be boring. Anything at one tone for 10 seconds is going to be boring. So you have to find a relatable character that has depth to them, that has a sadness, has a happiness, has an anger, has all these different emotions they can access, and you have all your other teammates to bounce those reflections off of, right? So character work is so important. This form is really all about dynamics. It's all about relationships. I like to say dynamics because that includes status, that includes history, that includes so much stuff. The dynamics between two characters includes so much stuff. So that's really what it comes down to. And if your team wants to, it can be a little formulaic. You can come up with a formula. You can say, well, for the first 5 minutes, or the first 2 minutes, we're gonna have pink and blue talk, and the next 2 minutes we'll have pink and orange talk, and the next minute, like, you can hash out this formula. I've never done that. Possibility, make the format work for you if that helps. I've had it just kind of go, and then if someone has an idea, they drive it forward. Another thing that's super important with this form is give and take. Give and take is super important, because while, let's say that orange, purple, and red are having a moment and they're talking about like their lives and how work is just so hard on them, that means that pink and gray are not really in the scene. Maybe blue's a little invested and green's a little invested, and they're kind of marginally related, but they have to have enough like work on stage or just be listening intently, because one of those elements they talk about may become important later on in that monoscene, because no one's leaving that scene. So you can never let the reality go that your character is invested in. Your character believes in their world as much as you literally believe in your world. So that's the monoscene. Those are some tips to make it work. Have fun, everybody. So please like, share, and comment. Don't pay attention to that motorcycle driving by, and please help each other out. The Improv Boost is there as a resource for free for you to share in groups, for you to share in your teams, for you to email each other, but also support each other. And in the team, let's get rid of competition internally inside the team, but also help each other's teams in the same city. You're not competing with each other for audience members. In fact, come together, have one night of comedy, have a small improv festival, invite surrounding improv teams come around to join you. Use each other as resources, not as competitors. We're allies. We're all trying to create the same artwork. It's like painters being competitive with one another. It happens. I know it happens. But isn't it better? It's an art form that everyone has their own form of expression that support each other. Let's do that. Yeah. Improvtoons.